Welcome back everybody to another episode of Direct Comparison. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at Hideo Kojima's recently released Death Stranding, and see how it compares visually to his previous project, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Now, I realize that these two games are drastically different from each other, as Metal Gear Solid is of course, primarily a stealth action experience, while Death Stranding aims for a much more, artistic approach. But considering this is somewhat of a spiritual successor, and seems to borrow a lot of the same design philosophies Kojima used on the Fox engine, I do feel as though it's worth exploring just how much the team at Kojima Productions were able to improve on the already impressive visuals of Metal Gear Solid 5. Alright, so to kick this comparison off, let's first start by analyzing the quality of the character models. Character models in The Phantom Pain were created using a sophisticated 3D scanning technology that required actors to record different facial expressions in front of several dozen high-quality cameras that could then be fed into the Fox engine for more streamlined animation. Based on a behind-the-scenes feature with Conan O'Brien, it appears that Kojima Productions is continuing with the same method of facial capture, only with some minor changes to the layout of the cameras. This, in combination with the reworked engine from Guerrilla Games, has resulted in a phenomenal improvement to the authenticity of character model renders. Norman Reedus looks incredibly close to being photorealistic, both in cutscenes and in-game. Every tiny detail has been captured here, from the redness of skin cells on Norman's neck, each individual hair on his scruffy goatee, and even the coloration and diffusion of light along his nose and eyes. It's on a completely new level from other games out there, and hopefully we'll begin to see similar results in more games moving into the next generation hardware. The characters in Phantom Pain don't necessarily look bad, but because several key characters like Venom Snake had to be modified in order to appear like their original fictional design, they don't come off quite as realistic. Characters like Quiet still look great, but the designers took a lot of liberties with the final character design, making her look a bit more fictional as a result. One of the first things I noticed as I started to play through Death Stranding were the similarities to the animation design. Both Venom Snake and Sam Bridges move very similarly at first glance, with a lot of the same walking and crouching animation loops. However, Sam's animations are evolved slightly. Occasionally, Sam will hop from rock to rock, lean to the side due to an increased amount of weight, and will even adjust his stance when traveling up and down slopes. They both feel a bit stiff and awkward to control, especially when falling over the side of cliffs, but Sam's increased amount of animations for these situations do make it feel more polished. Next up, let's talk about the environments. The Phantom Pain takes place primarily in two environments, a series of canyons in Afghanistan and a large savanna in Africa. Death Stranding, on the other hand, takes place in a post-apocalyptic America, with long winding canyons filled with an insane amount of rocks and dangerous rivers. Because of the significantly different general gameplay experience offered in each game, the environments are built very differently. Phantom Pain is built around being a stealth action sandbox, with dozens of enemy outposts and checkpoints spread out evenly across the play area. Death Stranding, however, is built around its delivery system, with wide-reaching linear paths. Because the world has been practically destroyed in this game, there's very few structures throughout the environment outside of occasional city ruins and delivery checkpoints. Most of the world is instead populated with dense fields of rocks, waterfalls, hills, and cliffs. Each of the open-ended environments are gorgeous, and in some cases almost feel otherworldly, with volcanic rock and ash making for some surreal locales. When taking a closer look at these environments, it's clear that Kojima Productions were able to improve upon various textured surfaces like grass, dirt, and rocks, something that never particularly looked very good in The Phantom Pain. Lighting is a bit of a mixed bag. While the quality of the lighting is absolutely an improvement in Death Stranding, it unfortunately appears to be completely static. This feels like a huge missed opportunity for the type of adventurous gameplay Death Stranding is aiming for. Phantom Pain offers a dynamic time of day system that not only properly adjusts the environment's lighting, but also triggers enemy AI to behave differently, requiring players to adapt to the circumstances. Death Stranding could have benefited greatly from this type of gameplay mechanic, but instead, the environment seems to be permanently cloudy, with an occasional rainstorm that players will need to contend with. Still, even without the dynamic systems used in Phantom Pain, Death Stranding's lighting looks incredible, with realistic volumetric light effects thanks to its low-hanging fog, a believable implementation of God rays, and overall decent global illumination. Shadows have also seen a nice uptick to their quality, with character shadows no longer shimmering like in Phantom Pain. Though again, because the lighting is more static, this is to be expected, as the shadows will never really change throughout each of the level environments offered in the game. Next, let's talk effects, mainly the water. One of the most impressive effects I noticed within the first few minutes of Death Stranding was its beautiful water simulation. Waterfalls feel genuinely immense thanks to a smart use of depth of field and pre-rendered effects. Up close, the water effects aren't necessarily the best, but there's still some nice water simulation happening here that doesn't really happen as nicely in Phantom Pain. I do want to add though that the occasional mini-boss encounters with the large BT enemies look amazing, thanks to some great wave simulation and this strange ink fluid that not only affects the player, but also several large environmental props nearby. These effects really help to enhance some of the more exciting moments in the game, in a way that Metal Gear Solid 5 just doesn't deliver due to its grounded setting. Finally, let's listen to a few sound comparisons. Which game do you think has the better overall sound design?
Weapons restrictions lifted.
And that wraps up this episode of Direct Comparison. Death Stranding offers a substantial step up visually from Kojima's previous Metal Gear Solid project. Character models look significantly more realistic, animations have been enhanced, lighting, while no longer dynamic, looks much better, and various effects like water and rain are much more impressive. Death Stranding is without a doubt a strange game, but no matter how you feel about its delivery-centric gameplay direction, there's no denying that it's a great technical achievement, especially considering its solid performance on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But what do you guys think? Do you think Death Stranding's visuals are an improvement, or did you prefer the design of the Phantom Pain? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos posted every week.